Hey, this is Daniel from Adorama Pro. I'm here in my studio in New York City, and today we're going to talk about hard and soft light. So I'm here with Justina. She's an artist here in New York City, a painter, and we're going to make a portrait of her. So, because she's young, I'm going to start with like a more punchy hard light. I have a small octagon here, from Photoflex, on a Profoto B1. I'm going to be firing it with a pocket wizard up here. Right now I have all my pocket wizards turned off. The first thing I want to establish is that none of the natural light from the studio is going to affect my shot. So I'll make a photo, and it's completely dark. That way I know that my flash is going to be the only light that's affecting my shot here. So if I turn on my light, and we make a photo, this has all the characteristics of hard light. The shadows are very, very dark, and you can see that they end really abruptly. That's what makes it hard light. Now, when you're working with hard light, you want to make sure you're posing the subject in the most flattering manner. So in this case, I'm not going to want the shadow by her nose so much, so I'm going to have her work towards the light a little bit, and we'll shoot a few more. So work towards the octagon light a little bit. So you can see by working into the light that even though we have the hard shadow, it's really flattering, and also the hard light is very nice for bringing out her cheekbones. So if somebody had a lot of texture to their face, this might not be the proper solution. You might want to go with a softer light source. So if you wanted to go softer, you would simply use a larger light source. Hardness and softness is determined by size relative to distance. So at the same distance, a smaller light source will be harder than a larger light source. So if we switch over to this octagon here, which is 5 feet, and we put it basically in the same position, and we make the same photo, we'll see what the difference is. With the softer light, you can see into the shadows, and it makes it much more gentle on the face. This can be really nice, especially if I want to give her more freedom to move around. She can pretty much move her face wherever, and it's going to be nice and even. Even though I have these black cards on the camera left side to kind of stop some of the fill from the white studio, you're still going to get fill on that side because the light source is so large. So let's shoot a few like this. Okay, so what's nice here is that I've got this nice large light source that I can use, but let's say I wanted to add a little more contrast. I've already put black fabric on the floor and a black card to the left side of her to fill in so we don't get as much bounce because my studio is full, it's completely painted white. But the other thing I can do is move the light further away. If I take my light and I back it up further away, relative to my subject, my light becomes smaller. So this will automatically make the light a little bit punchier and harder. But I'll also have the benefit of such a large source causing all kinds of bounce in the studio, which is going to fill in the shadow. Even though I'm going to have a hard, crisp shadow, it's going to be filled in, so it'll be a little bit more gentle looking. Okay, so we can see here that the shadow edge is hard. You can see the hard edge of the shadow, but because the light source is far away and it's bouncing around the entire room, you can see detail in the shadow, and that's really from fill. So that's basically gives me the punchiness of the hard light, but also detail in my shadow without having to use a reflector. By putting the light further away, the distance between my light and my subject and my light in the background proportionately is less, so that the background actually gets more light on it. So in fact, I'm getting a brighter background. So I'm using one light source that's bringing up the whole space. And I've got a little bit of shadow on the background, but you can see into it and it adds character, and you could just move the light around if you didn't want that. But I kind of like that a little bit, so we're gonna leave it there and let's work this a little bit. What's nice about this effect is it actually is very reminiscent of how the natural light falls in the studio for me. So sometimes if I'm in here at night and I want a client has seen daylight things I've done, I'll often take a big source and put it far away. It really looks like a bank of windows just coming and filling the room with light. Okay, so when you're using a softbox, a lot of people give the advice to put the light as close as possible to get it as soft as possible. But remember, sometimes hard light can add character, so it's something you should probably add to your portfolio of images. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on set.